FaZe Jev and Nadeshot agree on one thing, that being the meta in the gaming industry. It seems to be changing, both of whom have gone viral over the past couple of weeks for their takes, so I'm curious what you guys think on this. Let's first touch on Nadeshot, who went absolutely viral for his take on the gaming industry. Now, to give you guys clear context, he was referring to some specific games out there, while also providing a broader context of new release games, but specifically talking about Spectre Divide, that being Shroud's game, and XDefiant, the free-to-play shooter kind of set to counteract Call of Duty in their cycle, and other games out there as well, as Nadeshot pretty much just said that people nowadays are conditioned to expect so much from video games that if they don't like it right away, even just by seeing the gameplay and before even getting to play it, they just hate and hate and hate.
There's something weird that has happened in the gaming community. I'm serious too when I say this. For some reason, everybody in the gaming community wants games to fail. It's very bizarre. Like, the whole thing with XDefiant is still, like, stumps me to this day. People complain about not having enough games to play, but when new games come out, even before they have played it, they're like, that game sucks, I'm not going to play it. Listen, man, if we keep tearing down these studios trying to make good games, like, yeah, not every single one is going to be fun, and not every single one is going to be a hit. But if we're sitting here, like, preying on its downfall before the game even comes out, what do you think's going to happen? Nobody's going to be investing in gaming and making new games. And you're not going to have shit to fucking play. You're going to be sitting here playing MW2 Remastered Edition. You're going to be sitting here trying to play fucking the same old games for the 1,000th time because these billionaires and fucking multi-billion publishers, they're not going to greenlight any new games, any new concepts, any new IP. I mean, I try to put myself in the shoes of myself when I was like 16 years old, but I can't. I was excited for new games when they came out. The problem is now we have too many options. We've seen too many different games. We've seen too many different ways to interact with games. Like, back in the day, bro, in 2007, when Halo 3, Gears of War 1, and Call of Duty Modern Warfare dropped the same fucking year, bro, we were lined up outside of GameStops, whether it was in a mall or attached to a fucking Hollywood Video, sitting there waiting, camped out, drinking fucking Mountain Dew.
And this was something met with a mixed slew of replies. A lot of people actually calling out Nadeshot for being an idiot, saying, of course, we're going to be upset at these AAA studios not providing us with top quality games that they once did. And along with that, increasing the prices over the years, lowering the amount of content, and increasing the amount of recycling. Obviously, that pertains to a different crowd who is, talking about particular games out there as well, maybe particular games that Nadeshot was not talking about. And that's why the context of the situation is everyone just kind of is yelling and everyone's making some good points. Everyone has some good things to say, but it just goes in all different directions. And so by the end of this, we were like, okay, there was certainly a vein of truth in what Nadeshot said. There are tons of people, especially on short form media platforms, even Twitter and then TikTok and YouTube, every social media really, but especially the short form platforms, just allow for comments to go viral for hating on video games before even those people who left the comment had probably played it themselves. On the other hand, people who disagree with Nadeshot, I can still agree with part of where they're coming from. AAA studios, do they provide as much as they did back in the day, and are prices going up, and are there more microtransactions? For sure. And that is where Jev comes in, as he talked about this in a completely different context. And I love these videos because we're just going to tie them together anyway. As for Jev, he is talking about the recent Splitgate 2 drama, where he goes on in his own video to talk about when people nowadays come across a new game that has a very high skill gap, and Splitgate 2 is a very good example, but I think there are a lot of good games that are examples. Ironically so, Deadlock is one of those games, to me at least, that I've noticed. If you hop in, you're like, oh my goodness, this is going to be a game full of extremely good players. But he goes on to talk about Splitgate 2. When he first jumped in, all of these people are super good, and how people nowadays have a tendency, when they jump into a game, realize there's a high skill gap, they quit the game right away, and they hate on it because they're not good at it. And that kind of aligns a little bit with where Nadeshot was coming from. At least I think.
I think what happens is that, like, when a game has a really big skill gap, I think what happens is a lot of people get, like, really angry about that. Number one, they don't want to learn how to do it. And then also number two, they kind of develop like a disdain for the people that are good at it, that took the time to do it. And so they quit the game and then just start saying that, you know, the game sucks, the game's dead, in hopes of making other people feel the same way. Everybody will inherently just stop playing the game altogether. They can't really be better than me at the game if the game just doesn't matter. That's really the new meta. If you suck at a game, just try to kill it. That's just what people do. Still confused about the new portal mechanic. Is there no grenade thing that gets rid of portals anymore? Where did my other portal go? I just portal over top of their portal now? Aim assist feels good, but not too strong either. I don't know how people are already, how do they already know the map? Oh, your portal does overtake their other portal now, so you just shoot your portal over it now. I keep forgetting we have jetpacks as well. If there's rounds, is this not team deathmatch? Why are there rounds? I don't think I've ever played a team deathmatch with rounds. I mean, I like the new abilities and all that shit. I'm just getting overwhelmed, you know, naturally. That's the nature of Splitgate. We throw somebody into a lobby that it's just, there's a skill discrepancy and they don't know how to even generally use portals and shit yet or understand the map, is GG. It's actually not even close. A very similar thing happens on Halo as well. That's the really great thing about Halo, is that if you're better, you are absolutely better. Something that I miss about games for sure, but that doesn't make the process of getting your ass whooped and learning any more fun.
And so you have these two different creators talking about different titles out there, but about the gaming industry nonetheless, in this new meta that we have found ourselves in, about complaining early and not liking the skill gap and just calling games stupid when we can no longer compete. And I think there's a vein of truth in all sides encompassing, but I'm curious what you guys think about the current video game industry. For me, and I'm more exposed on the Twitter side of things, I see a lot of your comments too, it does seem to be a more hateful nature on all sides in the gaming industry, especially upon release when it comes from big AAA studios. Like, people are quicker to love, but they are also quicker to hate. And the one thing I really do agree with is our expectations have been set so high, because if we don't like a game within the first day, the first week, the odds of us going back, or at least myself going back to that game, are like nil, zero, negative. As compared to me being a kid, I'd give any game a shot multiple times and kind of try and learn with it. Nowadays, because I can play anything at any time that I've already loved, I can always go back to old games. I find myself quitting games faster. Maybe that's just me.
Spectre Divide is literally shitty Valorant. 13,000 people like this comment. Do you think 13,000 people that like this comment have even played it? I haven't played it, so I'm not going to sit here and say yada, 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 but I haven't played it yet. Imagine this. Imagine playing this over Valorant. Shroud spends years shitting and complaining about bugs in every other game, but when he tells him to fix his game, it's his issue. Shroud getting his own medicine. His game gonna flop. The game is still a thing? Question mark. That hype lasted like 2 days. Just another Splitgate. Nobody playing Spectre Divide. Washed out Valorant. He complains too many games being released unpolished. This, you know, it's crazy, man. It really is crazy. Just the state of the gaming industry and how, like, kids playing these games perceive the world and perceive the games. Like,
but that is what Jev and Nadeshot had to say about the video game industry and its meta, and kind of agreeing upon some of those things. What do you guys think? Till next time, thank you all for leaving comments, for subbing, leaving likes, and also sending us these clips to actually make videos about. We love discussing them here on Gaming World Media. So till next time, take care. We'll see you next time.